Okay, brother. So I've been in this industry for decades, and I've literally seen every fitness company there is. And I want to start this interview off by saying this is a really cool brand. What you're doing is super cool. Like the energy that's in the room when you come in here, the facility, the equipment, and all of what you're creating is super cool. That's really what I am feeling. So with that being said, I want to kind of go back in time. And I know this building has a special meaning to you. So I want people to understand how this was built, because that's really important. When people are investing so much money into a piece of equipment, I know it's important for them to understand they're getting it from, first of all, a good human. So I appreciate you, brother.
Appreciate that. Appreciate you too. Yeah, this is amazing, the journey we've been on here. And I'm an entrepreneur. I've been a serial entrepreneur my whole life. This is my 23rd business. Some are more successful than others, right? But you learn things as you go. And one of the things that you learn when you go through that kind of a journey and do that much variety is at some point you stop thinking about how am I going to make money, and you start thinking about what's important. At some point you realize if you're good at business, you can always find a way to make money, but then it doesn't matter so much anymore. You just want to do things that matter and that are important. And so I kind of fell into this opportunity, actually was doing a completely different business. And I was about 56 years old, about a year before the pandemic hit, and had a revelation after selling one of my companies. It was a software company. Kind of looked in the mirror one day and said, whoa, this is not going to work. I was at least 60 pounds heavier than I am today.
Really?
And I kind of thought back about my own dad, who at 58 years old had a massive heart attack. He lived to be 73, but at 58, it was basically the end of his life by having that heart attack. And it hit me hard. The doctor, I can remember, grabbed me and my brother and said, look, you've got to make choices today to make sure you don't follow here. And I didn't make those choices. So I got to the point where I was 56 and I realized I'm following that same path and I've got to make a change. So I got serious and made the decision that I was going to go on my own fitness journey. And so I was about 6 months into that fitness journey. Coming into this facility here, it was a gym. I was a member of the gym, and I had made that decision that I was going to turn my life around. And I really was hitting it hard. The pandemic hit, and just like everybody else's gym around the country, this one closed, and I couldn't go anymore. And
so isn't Rogan one of your employees here? He was your trainer at one point.
He was my trainer at one point, but not here at this gym. Okay. We met shortly after. But basically what happened was the world told me I could not continue with my fitness journey. And I said, bullshit. I'm not going to take that. So I've already made too big of a commitment. This is my life here. It's too important. I've got to find a way. So like everybody else, I jumped on Facebook Marketplace and Craigslist and started looking for something I could do at home. Because I live out in the boonies in a rural property. And so, there's not a lot of choices. I've got to figure out a way to keep this thing going. And honestly, what happened was, I see dumbbells for $1,000 and, all this stupid stuff that was going on. And it just pissed me off. And I thought, this isn't right. And all the businesses that I've started and built in the past, for the most part, I solve a problem of my own and realize I've got an opportunity to turn this into an enterprise because I'm not the only one that has this problem. And this was no different. I got mad at the situation. And I thought, okay, well, I'm going to find a way to source some really killer home gym for myself. And that wasn't easy. It's not something that anybody can do. But I had enough connections and enough real world experience from other business that I'd done that I was able to find it. And I got my gym. I found my gym and I sourced for that. And that was going to be the end of it. And so basically what happened was I got it, I put it in my home garage, and then I got back to my own fitness journey and working on the other business that I was building at the time. But then a few friends came over and they saw it and they're like, oh my God, I got to have one of these. And then, I started working on a way to get them to get them set up. And then it started looking like that was really going to be something that was needed. So I threw out a few Facebook ads and so on. And next thing you know, people were coming from all over Southern California to see my setup and beg me to make it available to them. And so that's kind of how this whole journey began, was just me saying, no, I'm not going to give up on my own fitness journey, and in the process ended up creating an enterprise that facilitated the same for lots of other people.
So question, the machine that you got originally, that's probably not the machine that we are seeing behind us today.
No.
I want to talk about that because there are a lot of machines similar to this.
Yeah.
But like I said at the beginning, I've not seen a cool brand like this with all of the accessories. When I first saw your brand, and actually you do a really good job at marketing because I was being targeted with your ads. And I was looking at these things, and this is no BS. I'm looking at these ads on Facebook, and I'm like, this is a really cool brand. I like all of the accessories. I like the chrome and the black. It just is a classy quality look. So that first framework that you got, how did you grow it to what we're seeing here? 4 really different versions of this, all that can go endless.
So basically, yeah, we would call that sort of a generic setup, and it was cool. It was, you know, it was adequate. But again, I'm an entrepreneur, and I thought, okay, well, you know, what do we need to do to make this really kick ass, just badass? And so I was able to reach out to people in the industry and say, okay, what do we need to do to really tweak this? And we went through several iterations, and then we ended up with 1 model, and then 3 models, and now 6 models, you know, 6 different machines. But we got the right input from the right people, people in the industry, people that know fitness, that understand, you know, I'm smart enough to surround myself with people that are smarter than me, right? And get the right kind of expertise. And we just, little by little, made it what people needed. And it's something that's beautiful to look at, something that's wonderful to use, you know, that the movement is amazing. And of course, we continually improve it as we go and come out with new features and functionality. But basically, as a person who cares about quality stuff, if I'm gonna sell something, it's gotta be quality. So we just made it the best it possibly could be. And as a business person, you know, the most important thing was sharing the experience. And so basically what happened was we made so many people so happy so quickly, just a couple of dozen right off the bat, that it just spread like wildfire and went from there.
So is that the reason you think you're having the growth that you're having? Because this is uncommon for you to have the growth. You know, having started 23 businesses, you know that the trajectory that you're on isn't common to business because you're. So what do you think the secret sauce is?
Well, first of all,
quality is one thing that you'd argue.
Quality is one thing, but there's much more to it. This is the biggest business I've ever built. It's incredibly gratifying. It's scaling at a pace that's unbelievable. But it's really a couple of things. Like, there's always a little bit of luck, right? So we got lucky that we did it all at the right time. I guess it was just a matter of executing, right? I'm a person who's like, if we're gonna do it, let's do it. And I don't care about taking risk. I don't care about making mistakes, because you figure things out as you go. Now, with 23 businesses, you pretty much go through everything. And so I'm able to look back into my, you know, library of mistakes and say, okay, let's do this differently and that differently. And that probably has something to do with it. But the most important thing is it's an important product that people need desperately. And then because we started growing so quickly, it gave me the opportunity to go out and find people to build a company around the team that I've been able to develop in this very short period of time that's unbelievable. I mean, I can't even believe the quality of people that I have. We have a very diverse group of people, all kinds of varied experience, et cetera. But every one of them came to the company because they were attracted, like you were, to the brand. They're like, I want to work here. I want to be part of it. They could see it. They could sense what was happening. And they wanted to be part of it. And so literally every person that works for us today, and there are dozens and dozens, are here not just because we were hiring, but because they wanted to be part of something that they could see was just going to be huge.
Yeah, you can absolutely see that. When I walked in here, the energy, even before I came here, the Zoom calls, like I loved our Zoom call because I popped on and I'm seeing like the Brady Bunch, all of these different people in different places, and I felt it coming through me, and instantly right then I knew, I said, I'm the guy for this. This is not even a question for me at all. So I know how you're going to answer this question. Well, let me back up to your staff again. In my business, I always tell people, if you don't have a 25-year-old on your team, you're completely missing the mark. You have a lot of young energy in the building, right? And as a 60-year-old man, that keeps you young, right?
Absolutely,
Different thoughts, different ideas, different attitudes when they're coming in.
I think I'm pretty much 3 times older than most people on the staff.
Oh, okay.
But that's fantastic. You know, they bring a lot of energy. I think I'm still, pretty hip, pretty cool, but
You just say hip.
I
made you
accidentally
not as cool as you
did
think.
that, yes.
Yeah, okay.
But my team is amazing, and I'm pretty good with technology. I get it, but there's just so much that these guys bring to the table, the energy that they bring to the table. And I guess what I was getting at is we did a really good job of really connecting with the customers early on. Early on, it was me and the customers. And so, somebody might get the machine and they're in Savannah, Georgia, and they call me at 11 o'clock at night their time, maybe it's 8 o'clock my time, on a Saturday night, and they've got 3 beers down and 2 pizzas, and they're 3 hours into building their machine, and they get stuck on part 52. But I pick up the phone on a Saturday night, and we talk through it, and that was amazing. That was part of the experience that we put together. Also, when people called and asked me questions about which machine and so on and so forth, I'm at the point where I just want them to have the right machine. And so it's sort of a consultative type approach. Well, all of my team does the same thing. So, we really pride ourselves on the customer journey. And when people are on our website and they're trying to figure out what machine to do, there's great technology there, but they can just click and get connected with one of our salespeople who will literally jump on a FaceTime or Zoom with them and show them the machines, ask them, what are you trying to do? Where are you at? Are you a bodybuilder just looking for the best rack? Are you somebody coming in who's just starting their fitness journey like I was 4 years ago, and you don't know anything and you just need help trying to figure out how to start your fitness journey? We've done a really good job with this team of being able to connect with anybody, no matter where they're at, and help them get what they need. Nothing more than what they need, but just what they need and get them started on the journey.
Yeah, see, that's what I was going to ask you earlier, bring up. I believe that the reason for your success and the meteoric rise that you're on is the fact that you've created relationships with your customers.
Absolutely.
You're not just creating a sale and then they don't hear from it. So this, based upon my decades of experience, is what nobody else is doing. And that's why you, sir, are someone that I am proud to be involved with now in your brand, in what you're doing, because that's what really drives business, is the relationships that you're creating. So go a little bit deeper into that. What could a customer expect? Say someone's seeing this and like, I don't even have one of these machines, but I'm interested now in getting one. Like, get them over that finish line.
Sure.
Get them to that next point.
Yeah. Here's the thing, while we're doing all this in the first place, is we're doing great just providing the best quality machine we can to our customers. But you listen to your customers and you hear patterns emerge. And what we've been hearing over and more frequently is that in addition to this core group of people that we work with, that just want the most badass machine they can get, but they already know what to do with it, people are coming to us who, like I was 4 years ago, just starting their fitness journey. I mean, in my lifetime, I've gone to the gym, gotten fairly fit, gotten out of it, started a new venture, got really out of shape again, got back into it, up and down, up and down. But so I really relate to people who have gone through that in their lives. And so what we're realizing now is that so many of our potential customers are coming to us and saying, I want to start my fitness journey. And obviously that rings very true to me. It's important to me because I get that. And so what we're trying to do now is not just sell people a piece of hardware, but to walk them through the entire process. One of the things we hear most frequently is, what do I do with it? I've got this beautiful machine. Thank you. I'm excited. It's in my garage. It looks amazing. What do I do? And so, for example, with our Get Jacked Up program, we didn't really have to do that. I mean, we're doing fine. But I just can't stand it, and the team can't stand it. We can't leave the job unfinished. And so we know that people are buying the machine and then trying to figure out where to go from there. And we have a great app, and the app only gets better, but some people need more than that. They need to just be able to walk up to the machine, push the button, and see you and Kim and my staff in the set here.
And you.
And me going through exactly what they're going to be going through. I mean, come on, it's hard, right? I mean, you work with people all the time that are just starting their fitness journey. I just went through it. Just getting started is so hard. What do I do? How do I even use the machine? What do I eat? What don't I eat? How do I get myself to eat or not eat, right? the whole mind, when should I work out? Do I work out in the morning? Do I work out in the afternoon? I just don't know anything, but I want to get started. So this whole program was designed, and the reason we went and found you was just to be able to provide the easiest, get started, push play, and begin the journey for the customer.
Right. So Kim and I are going to talk about those workouts specifically
Yeah.
that we're shooting right now, and it's so much fun. I want to talk about this building, this facility, and your vision. I love what one of your team members, Bree, said. She's like, you're so far down the road, and it's her job to kind of like put it into perspective, what can we do now? But we're basically in an empty shell of a building, which once was, to your point, the gym. But you have an idea for influencers to come in, your customers to come in, and your team members are already coming out with their laptops and saying, here's how you use this machine. So talk about the vision for this building and how you want the customers to be in this process with you if they're in town or whatever.
Yeah. So going back to the fact that when the pandemic started, my gym closed and I wasn't able to go back to the gym. This was that facility again. And so just recently, about 6 months ago, that gym relocated to another location and left this building empty. Well, that was a great opportunity for us. It's a beautiful facility. It's partly our warehouse. It's partly our new corporate headquarters. It's jacked up studios, right? Here we've built this incredible studio because we know that there's such a need for ongoing content and ongoing support beyond what we just started here with the Get Jacked Up 5-part series. And so it's a bigger facility. It gives us the ability to have a much bigger showroom. We're all under one roof. Before this, we were in, a warehouse over here, a warehouse over there, a showroom over there. And we know that we've done some amazing things, but we're just beginning. There's just so much more that we can do, and there's so many more people that need this equipment and the guidance on how to use it. So we took advantage and we retooled this facility. We built the studio in here. And we will continue to create all kinds of workout programs, specialized programs for various groups. We'll eventually do live classes, recorded classes like we're doing now. But we're really excited to get influencers and people who just want to come here and be part of the Jacked Up Fitness culture. More and more people just want to be part of that, and we're just really excited to facilitate it.
Brother, I love you, man. I appreciate your energy so much, and I don't say that just to say it. I really am a part of this movement now because that's what you're creating is a movement. And if our country needs anything, it's honestly a fitness movement with a passionate person that's leading that charge. And I'm happy to be along for the ride. Is there anything that we missed that you want to cover before we wrap this thing up? Because this is not the end of the content. We have so many different modules in classes and things that everyone that becomes a part of the Jacked Up family is going to get to watch.
Well, I think the main thing is that Get Jacked Up is going to be a movement. It's something that has been in our minds for a long time. We're just so thrilled to finally get to the point where the facility is here. You and Kim are here, my whole team, everybody participating in it. I think what you'll find out as people go through the program is the Jacked Up family in all of these videos demonstrating to our extended Jacked Up family of customers how to get jacked up. And so we're all in this together. We all start from wherever we start. We just want everyone to know that they just need to walk over that line, get started, push play, and start their fitness journey.
Yeah, you are a perfect example of what everyone should be doing. You decided to get fit, you created a vision, and you took action. That's really what it's all about. So I think the most appropriate way to end this is how we've ended all of these workouts on 3. We know what to do. I want everyone in the room to join in. Are you ready, sir?
Ready.
You call it out.
3, 2, 1.
Get jacked up!